say, kids, what time is it?
Hey everybody, Keith here from GeekTime TV on the road again, doing a little hotel video for you. This is an article I saw on Bounding into Comics last week, and I meant to do a video before I left, but I didn't have time. It's just been crazy busy. Um, but I just went on a work trip that started in Texas. Loved your state, by the way. Had a great time in Texas. And now I came out to Los Angeles for another gig and happened to. It's kind of funny because when I was booking the trip, wasn't sure why all the hotels were all booked up and rent-a-cars were scarce. And then it dawned on me that it's Oscar week. Oh boy. So I'm stuck out here for a couple of days in the midst of Oscar week, but it kind of dovetails into this article that I saw, and I want to kind of build on it a little bit and just talk about a few things. I don't want to make this video too long. It's got the potential to go long, so I'm going to try to go as fast as I can, make a few points, and let you guys formulate your own opinion on what's going on here. So the first one is this article from Bounding into Comics, posted March 3rd by Jacob Smith. California proposes withholding new tax credits from Hollywood productions unless they set ethic, racial, and gender diversity goals and develop a plan to achieve them. So, I like to call California Clownifornia. I like to call it Commifornia. If this doesn't fit the Commifornia label, I don't know what does. So let's just take a quick look at some of this article and go from there. While it may not be illegal yet, California is taking its first steps to punish Hollywood projects that aren't woke enough to meet the ever moving standards of progressives. In 2022, California voted to pass SB 485, which revised the state's film tax credits legislation to introduce a new credit which could only be received if a given project provided, quote, a diversity work plan that includes goals that are broadly reflective of California's population. According to the 2020 census, California's racial demographics are 41% white alone, 6% black alone, 40% Hispanic, 15% Asian, 1.6 American Indian or Native American, and Alaskan Native alone, 0.4% Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander alone, 21.2% some other race alone, and 10.2% individuals whose ethnicity is composed of two or more races. Under the bill, an appointed commission would be prohibited from certifying the tax credit for an applicant until the commission receives the applicant's final diversity report. Additionally, said commission would be authorized to increase the applicant's credit percentage if the commission determines that the applicant has met or made a good faith effort to meet diversity goals in its diversity work plan. While the original bill held no specific penalties for productions that failed to meet these goals, the state's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, Gruesome Newsom, American Psycho himself, is now seeking to provide the state with the tools needed to enforce these new rules. As per the state's 23-24 film tax credit budget proposal, which is hot linked here, I'll put the link to this article in the description. Submitted by the governor's office on February 28th, whereas a previous budget packet included a blanket allocation of $150 million in film tax credits for productions that are filmed at new or renovated sound stages. This credit is now being withheld unless the given production is instituting ethnic, racial, and gender diversity goals and to develop a plan to achieve those diversity goals. Productions are now eligible to receive an additional 4% tax credit if they meet or make a good faith effort to meet their diversity goals. The governor's office added, should this proposal be adopted, it will remain in effect through the rest of the current tax credit's effective lifespan in 2025, though lawmakers are currently working on extending this end date to 2030. So, real quick too, Britain did this last year. ITV set aside £80 million, or about 105 $1 million to promote productions and companies that promote disability and race-based content. So yeah, so meritocracy goes out the window. Um, Creatively, you're handcuffed because now you have to craft your story around this checklist of check boxes that you've got to check, right? So, people wonder why so many films, and I talk to people all over the place, family members, casual moviegoers. A good friend of mine, we were talking at the Super Bowl, said, God, it's like all these movies are the same now. They're so ridiculous. They all have the same kinds of characters in them, and they all have the same, you know, archetypal traits to them. And I said, yeah, because this is what they're doing. It's just they're checking their boxes and they're not telling natural organic stories. So on the creative side, this ridiculous proposal will hurt you badly, and especially when you're taking tax credits away. If you're thinking about like independent films, independent films have very small budgets, very narrow margins. They could really benefit from these tax credits, and a lot of times independent films have smaller casts and they're telling specific stories, and to go out of their way to kind of manipulate the story and cast the movie just to fit all these boxes just to get a tax break or a bonus is ridiculous. You wonder why the state of the entertainment industry is where it is. Here's a perfect example right here. And then if you're looking at it from the above the line side, your producers, your directors, and all that kind of thing, if you have to take your crew and now you have to assemble it based on, again, we have to have a disabled person, we have to have this, we have to have that. This is a very, it's always been a network relationship based industry. It's very small and it's very word of mouth, and crews like to work with each other over and over again. You build a familiarity. There's a trust in the relationships that occur, and it's just today, this morning, I was approached by someone who said their son is looking to get into this stuff, and what's your best advice for getting started? And I said, get out there and network. Join some professional organizations that you meet so you can meet some people, volunteer to get on a set, do whatever you got to do. But it's all about building relationships. And if you're going to tell someone who they can hire, who they can cast, how they can write their story based on really superficial, traits, if these people have the skill, that's what matters. If they have the skill, you want to hire them for your crew, it shouldn't matter what their background is or what their gender is or what their skin color is. It just doesn't matter. And if your story organically needs those traits, fine. But to ram it down your throat is ridiculous, and it just strips the creative process out of it completely. So that brings me to this week, Oscar week, and here I am, and uh, I can. I went out for dinner. I went to In-N-Out Burger recently, just a couple hours ago. Oh God, you can tell the tourists are here. Um, anyway, last year's Oscar ratings were up, but still the second worst in history. And I still think the Chris Rock slap, Will Smith slap thing was a little stagey. Um, and they're talking about it all week again, so they're clearly trying to drum up some sort of interest. It's been on the decline for a while, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that they announced, I think back in 2020 or 2021, we covered this on one of our live streams at the time on Tuesday Night Mayhem. Um, the Academy put out a quota that says you will be uh, not considered or stricken from consideration for an Oscar if you don't fit some of these quotas. Much like Gruesome Newsom's, you got the same kind of idea here. Um, I'm not going to go through this whole list, but we'll go with the first one just as an example. So To achieve standard A, the film must meet one of the following criteria. Lead or significant supporting actors, at least one of the lead actors or significant supporting actors from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. And then you have all the boxes. Um, General ensemble cast. At least 30% of all actors in secondary or more minor roles are from at least two of the following underrepresented groups. And there they go. So it goes on and on and on. And again, you're handcuffing your creativity. You're handcuffing who you want to hire and how you want to produce your film. Just to get a stupid little gold statue that you have to pay for anyway. So, that said, I haven't seen this, but I did see an ad for it finally, and I was interviewed for this. So I don't know if I made the final cut. I see that it's a 4-part series on Fox Nation called The Death of Hollywood. I was stopped by the producer and told me what they were doing. I said, "Oh, I have plenty to say about this." And he interviewed me for about a half an hour. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to subscribe to Fox Nation so I can see if I made the cut. But if you do have Fox Nation, check it out. Kind of goes along with these topics right here that we're talking about. And, it's amazing because all you need to do is go back about a year ago and you look at Spider-Man No Way Home and you look at Top Gun Maverick. And both of those made almost $2 billion each. And you know why? They were good old-fashioned fun action films. Just fun. There was no other agenda. Just have a good time. So that's it. Didn't want to take up too much of your time, beating you over the head with this ever tiresome topic that just every time I think we're starting to turn the corner, we're hitting the tipping point, it's going to go away, it seems to come back with twice the fury that it had before. When will the woke nonsense stop? You tell me. Leave a comment below. Please smash that like button if so inclined. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. And we will catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up below. Also, please subscribe to GeekTime TV. It really helps us grow the channel. And make sure you hit that bell icon in order to receive notifications every time we drop new content here. You can also check us out on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GeekTimeNet. Thanks again for watching. We will see you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?